wine, grab your glass. Doesn't matter if it's alcoholic, non-alcoholic. Thank you so much for joining us for happy hour. For those of you who have not been here before, this is where Jeannine and I have an unscripted, uncensored chat about what it's like to be a working mom, working from home, running our own online digital business. We're so glad so many of you have been watching and commenting and asking questions. So if you're seeing this, please, let us know where you're watching from. Say hello. We love to see you. We love to meet people. It's been fantastic.
Yeah, so I got a question about our training and kind of what that looks like. And I know you love this conversation, so why don't you dig in to a little bit of the training piece? Because
I do. So my background is human resources. I did a lot of adult training. I did a lot of consulting. I did a lot of training design. So I love talking about our training in this group. Our training is set up step by step. So from the minute that you come into this group, you get welcomed with some real basics. They start off, of course, by showing you, telling you who we are, what we do, how you're going to do it. But they also start off with mindset. So before you even get to the step-by-step videos about the how, which, it's great the way they have it set up, because as you know, Jeannine, you can put on, do a topic, put on the video. If you don't understand, you can watch it again. If you need help while you're doing whatever it's describing, you can pause it and start it as you go. It's like having your own person standing right beside you, over your shoulder, saying, push this button, do this, do this. Yeah. So I can't say enough about that. But even better than the step-by-step training is that whole mindset business owner guide, because a lot of people who start this business have never started a business, have never worked for themselves, don't know the single first thing about where do I start, how do I keep going. They're used to having a boss that gives them direction and tells them what to do. And some of those people that started there are the most successful people in our business. The most successful. Like, I'm talking too good to be true lives. Like, it's amazing to me. So yeah, it's my favorite topic. When you started, what did you find when you first started?
Well, I have said this so many times because I am really not savvy, and I have come so far. I'm really actually my confidence has built so much over time, but sometimes it becomes overwhelming when you get all this information, because I'm an information person. I just give it all to me. But what happens is you can go into analysis paralysis, and that is shut down. You just tend to shut down when you're in that space. So for this, it's you learn, you do. You learn, you do. So every step, you are setting up everything. And you're like, how did I do that? How did I do that? If you were like me and did not have any tech skills, if anyone can relate to that, training does matter, because you don't want to be banging your head against a wall. And I've been there. I know what that feels like. This is, again, ease, because it's just, here you go and do it. Here you go and do it. And that saved my life. Literally.
Yeah, I totally relate to that. We have students who got their first iPhone or smartphone to do this business and did it and are extremely successful. So I totally relate to that. And also, you said about not getting overwhelmed. People that I'm mentoring in this business, that I'm helping teach the things I've learned, that is the thing that I repeat the most often. Don't get overwhelmed. Don't jump ahead. Don't look at the fact that there's 30 tabs or 20 tabs or how many tabs there is. Sit on where you're at and just say, today I'm going to do this. Today I'm going to do this, and do that step. Give yourself on the pat of the back. And if you want to do more, do more. And if you don't. Leave it for the next day. Because you're right. There's no rush, right? When you go start a job, you show up, someone hopefully sort of takes you under their wing and gives you instruction and teaches you how to do that job and teaches you how to use the programs or input the paperwork or whatever it is you have to do, make the coffee. run the machinery, whatever it is. And you, the first day, are overwhelmed and thinking, oh my gosh, so much information. But you have that person there. And you know what? That's why I love this choice. When I was looking at businesses, and before I started this, I was looking at everything because I lost my job due to the pandemic, was not ready to be unemployed, had so many reasons not to go back. And so I looked at everything. And my biggest concern was, great, I'm going to take your course, or I'm going to become a coach, or I'm going to become a consultant, or I'm going to start my business. You're going to help me do this. And then you're going to leave me. And I'm going to be all on my own to do every other aspect. Our training covers every aspect, everything.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It even has worksheets for the steps and goal setting and how to keep yourself from stopping. Because I can't remember who said it. Lots of people have said it, but I just read it recently. The biggest reason entrepreneurs fail, or anyone fails at anything, is because they quit just before they're going to make that breakthrough. So whether it's an inventor, a business owner, a salesperson, they do all the hard work, they have all the struggles, and then right before they're going to have that massive breakthrough, they stop. And the only thing that can stop you in this business from succeeding is stopping. I believe it is. 100%. Okay, I'm going to get off my soapbox now. I love talking about this training. I just love it. That whole growth aspect of this, if I never succeeded and never made a dime in this business, the growth that I've experienced, the regrowth, because a lot of it for me was relearning, has been amazing. Yeah. Amazing. What about you?
Yeah, absolutely. I can completely agree with that statement. Well, he sees my kids going outside, so why are you taking me? Yeah, we'll go for a walk later.
So tell me about your experience with the mindset part of it, or your favorite parts of the training, because I want to hear what you think.
Well, for me, I like that there's options on how you build your business, and that obviously evolves with time. As your mindset gets sharper and you're more in tune with what you see for yourself and because really it's my choice how I want to build this business. I really do like to be behind the scenes. I love the data. I love running ads. That part is my favorite. The social media part was a harder journey for me. It's the vulnerability part, putting yourself out there. It's gotten way better. I mean, I think I'm 100% better than I was 6 months ago. As far as now, I'm comfortable. I really love the behind the scenes. That's me. I like looking at the numbers. I like looking at the data. I like seeing how everything kind of works together. And when you tweak this. So that part is a never ending learning cycle. So it's always keeping me kind of like engaged. There's always like a pull because I'm always learning something new. Every time you play with something, you kind of get a different reaction, right? So that's the part that I love the most, to be honest, is the behind the scenes.
That's one way we're completely opposite, because I don't care about the numbers. I don't care about the behind the scenes. I want to get through the paperwork and the training as fast as I can. I want to focus on the fun. I want to take pictures. I want to do lives. I want to do stuff like this. I want to talk to people. And I know you like the talking to people part, like the one-on-one too, a lot. So for me, the challenge is that stuff that comes with any job. I mean, any job you do, there's always something that isn't your favorite part. So for me, that's the challenge, is the part that you love. And you're right. It's great because there's so many options. You can be a social butterfly and put your face all across social media and blast it all to your personal, and you could do that, open up your world. And I have no problem with vulnerability. I actually have to catch myself because my husband's a bit more private, and he doesn't like it when I share our whole life with the world. He's getting better, but you know what I mean. But then you also have these people, and I am mentoring one of these people right now, who are quite private. So they want to do this business in a very private way. And they can do that because you don't need to do this, what we're doing. You can do it very private. In fact, some of the people who we rarely hear from in our private group, who are very private, not only publicly, but also in our private group, some of those people are the most successful people in our business as well. So and the training is set up for both of those people.
It is. And that's what really is the most freeing part for someone like, well, for anybody, is you just have to identify what feels good to you, because no one wants to do stuff they hate. There is a learning curve. So you have to push through things like a live. It took me 6 hours. My first go live on Facebook on my business page, it took me 6 hours to press the button. 6 hours of nope, can't do it. Nope, can't do it.
Okay, that's a
6 hours. And then the next day, it took me 3 hours. And then the third day, I think it was just like 5 minutes. And then it was nothing. But that's what I mean. It's not that I hate it. I had to like face. It's something that was scary for me. It was something that it got my nerves all kind of bound up. But look at us now, right? Like, look at me now. Now I can go do videos. I can do these lives. Because sometimes you do have to face fears to bring the best out of you, right? Yeah. But where you focus the majority of your time is where it should be, where you feel like, right? For you, you love that, like the lives, and you're always, on the lake, and that's your thing. You're doing that out of joy. When I'm like sitting here analyzing data, which is so weird, because when I think of my personality, I would never assume I'd be that person loving the data, but I do. And that's the part where I get the most joy. So it doesn't matter if you're introverted, extroverted, boisterous. It doesn't matter, because you're going to build it for you. And that's the magic. It's like, that's the vulnerability part, letting yourself go enough where people can see you. They can actually get who you are and where you've come from. And that's how it happens. It really does.
And that's the beauty of our training, is we have people who are really good at certain things, and the founders of our community are smart enough to recognize that, and they utilize those people. So those training videos and training sections, they're done by the people who love that part of the business. So if someone like yourself is really good at the analytical, they reach out to you and go, hey, we hear you're really good at this. Will you share your knowledge with others? And not only in our preset training that gets updated all the time, but in our weekly training. These guys have recognized none of us is perfect. None of us has arrived. None of us knows everything. And so they get other people who are successful at something now to share what they're doing, how they're doing it, and how you can do it too. I mean, it's genius, right? What better way to make everyone successful? And
absolutely.
I'm not far from perfect, and I have a million things to learn. But one thing I always strived to do when I was in management was I wanted my people to be so good at their job and so knowledgeable that if I left, no one would even notice. To me, that's the best sign of a manager. If all the place can function without them, that means they've taught and let their people do their job and given them responsibility enough that the place can run without them. To me, that's the way it should be.
For sure. Well, awesome. Thank you everyone for joining us. It was so nice to have you. Please, we want more questions. Keep bringing your questions. We will keep answering them, and join us next time, and hope you guys all have a wonderful rest of your day. Cheers, Nikki.
Cheers, Jeannine. Cheers, everybody. Thanks for joining us.